Yes, it's delicious iced tea this evening. Yes.
Make sure you drink it all before we go live.
Oh!
That's what we'll tell the censors, Dean.
Right. That's good thing we got in just at the end of the What's Happening Now super play there on the Superstation. I didn't think there were 8 episodes of that to run back to back, but I was wrong apparently. But it's a good evening. I am so tired. I have gotten no sleep the last 2 weeks thanks to my job, so it's going to be an interesting show. Stick with us. We'll be right back with you for another exciting episode of What's on Joe Mind after you watch our cool opening sequence. Everybody, it's Tuesday night. It's 9:05. That must mean it's time for What's on Joe Mind. We're a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
All right. Rob's just all right. He's just, he's lonely down in the bottom row tonight.
Earthquakes, eclipse, what's on Joe Mind? They say bad things come in threes, right? So
yeah.
Disasters happen in threes. So there you go. Or is an eclipse really a disaster? I don't think that counts.
No.
Considering that earthquake, there were no injuries and no property damage. I don't know if that even counts.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
It's just we'll call them otherworldly events.
That basically counts as a conversation starter.
Yeah, essentially.
Hey, did you feel that?
I dig eclipses, man, because it's the only thing that'll even shut up the birds. The birds are like, whoa.
Right.
Like,
what happened?
Stupid birds.
Right. Checking their watches going, no, wait, what?
What the fuck is this? But Rob and I, of course, we live in Indianapolis, so it was all happening directly above us. We were right in the path. The full obscurity was happening right above our heads, and it got to the point where the sun was blotted out enough that we were actually able to look at it without the glasses on. Not that we were sitting there staring at it, but we could take looks at it and be like, oh hey. It's like there's a big rock hanging in the sky. That's weird.
Really, at the point of totality, it was really like no brighter than the moon. It was just.
But how was it by you, Mark, in your non-totality locale?
The lovely Mrs. Weber is a travel savant, right?
Right.
So she booked like a guest house, a B&B out in Vermont, right in the path of totality a year ago.
Nice.
Right? For regular price. And when we got there, the people looked at us like, you sons of bitches. We could have charged 5 times that.
Right.
Yeah. But we jumped on, someone wants to come visit Vermont in April after ski season? Okay. So you remember in
Mrs. Weber gets the tip of the cap is what you're saying.
What she's doing. So in Scent of a Woman, the jackass redhead student is like, hey, Chaz, the boys and I are going up to Sugar Bush to go skiing this weekend. Like to rub it in his face that he can't afford it, but the rich kids can. But we were right there at Sugar Bush, baby. Like 2 blocks away from the actual mountain. But we were right in the path of it. My wife did a 1-hour time-lapse video of it. It was pretty awesome. But we had it all planned out. It's one of those things where we could have done any bit of it wrong. We had it all set. We had the right place. Even the owners of the house left, so we had like the whole property to ourselves for the whole hour. It was great. But we had the car totally packed. And the second that moon started to leave the middle, we were gone, dude. And so it was probably a 4-hour drive that took us 5. So yeah, there was some traffic, but we got home at like 9:15. I watched all the Raw, no commercials. We hit it perfect. Meanwhile, a friend of ours took her 4 kids like an hour and a half north, further up into Vermont. She got home at 4 a.m. with her 4 kids, and we're like,
oh God,
brutal.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah, it was. I have to touch base with our younger brother, Jim. Their plan was to come down from South Bend, which is a little bit outside of the totality. It's closer to Chicago. Their plan was to get as far south as Kokomo, which is really not far from here. And I just wonder how that actually went for them, traveling on US 31, which is a mess on a normal day.
It's jammed. Does that count?
It's yeah.
Okay.
No, that works. Yeah.
Ding, ding. I was torn between that and saying, so they were literally way down in Kokomo.
They were visiting Kokomo Toys.
They should have. Which
was closed on Monday, but whatever. I actually told them that when we saw them on Easter. It's like, I would tell you to visit, Todd and Amber, the mayor and the boss, but they won't be there.
Okay, yeah. There was a comment by Dave McDonald, if you can highlight it there.
Dave McDonald had a comment. Put it on the.
There we go. At least the Eclipse stopped the monorail, right? There we go. Good job, Dave.
That's
well
right.
done.
The cosmic ballet goes on.
I'll allow it.
Anybody else want to sit next to this guy?
Oh, there we go. Oh, always good to mine the classics, Dave. Good job. Good job. Could be our comment of the night.
That's about as classic as it gets. The monorail episode of The Simpsons.
Michael Gene Fleming, using the Eclipse as an excuse to visit Kokomo seems legit. Everything cool in Kokomo is closed on Monday. So
even the sun.
Fun. Right, the sun even closed. That's how bad it was.
Lazy
Kokomo Toys
sun.
is closed. Comics Cube is closed. I think the record store that's part of Geek Street is closed. They're not there on Monday. It's like in the olden days when all the restaurants used to close because everybody was at home doing laundry.
All the good Italian restaurants shut. Stinks.
Right. I mean, look, you got to do the laundry sometime. When I was in college, there was a Cajun place down by the river called Broussard's, and Monday they would go with the traditional Monday meal of red beans and rice, and on Mondays it was all you could eat, and it was fantastic. So we used to love Monday nights at Broussard's because you're getting the cheapest thing on the menu, the best thing on the menu, and it's all you can eat.
Right. That's pretty slick.
You have to leave the steam tray, sir.
Right. For a team of fat guys, as our music fraternity was, that was special. It was a good time. We probably cost them some money. Mondays
were wash day in Bay City, Michigan, where my grandparents grew up. And they grew up on the Caucalla River, so people would actually wash their clothes in the river, who knows, 80 years ago. And my grandpa, Ivan, who was hysterical, one of his wishes after he passed was to have some of his ashes put in the Caucalla River on wash day, so he could trickle into everybody's clothes down the river. Attaboy, Grandpa Slim.
There you go. Craig Cohan with a good question. Totality, a better Joe or Cobra code name?
Neither.
It sounds more Cobra, but I don't know. I don't know how that works. Right.
Better one, Tombstone.
Right.
Or Eclipse. Eclipse is. Oh wait.
Yeah, can't use that one.
It sounds like it's taken, Mark.
I think the British have that one.
Yeah, big Eclipse sale on Monday.
Right. That was what, 20% off on the
fifth. I mean, not to toot our own horn, but 15% off every order. And if you ordered any Eclipse, there's 2 versions of her and a weapons pack. Then you got a free gift added to your order.
Oh, nice.
And the free gift was pretty much equated to the amount of money spent in the order. So if you drop some coin, got 50% off and something nice.
How many orders you process, Mark?
5 times the normal amount.
Wow. All right.
We're not done.
Right.
More will go out tomorrow.
Right. So everybody who's ordered from Voliverse, chill out. Mark's working on it.
I'm working on it, man. We are going in order, so whoever went first.
We're just gonna. We gotta just make that your little tag underneath your name.
He's the only one there.
There were a whole bunch of orders between like 11:54 and 11:59. People just getting home going, I'm gonna miss it. So the desperation of the order jam there at the end of the night was pretty cool. And then I answered quite a few of the customer emails, and there was one with the subject this morning because there were a bunch to answer because I was out Monday, so it was the whole weekend's worth. One was just subject, I'm an ass. Some guy put in a whole order just in time and forgot to put in the code. We'll take care of you. We'll be all right.
Oh. But anyways, we did not have Biff McHonky Donk in this weekend because he wouldn't have any Eclipse stories to talk about out in California. That ain't Eclipse country.
He's ripping on Rob Liefeld, though. Those are fighting words around Ragtime Rob. Let me tell you.
Yeah, they sure are.
just make Rob want to move to California with him,
right?
Like a tag team, beat him down.
The Liefeldians,
right?
The old bucks. Actually, they're about the same age. Actually.
the people with well-defined feet.
There you go.
Anyways, if you're watching us on YouTube tonight, thank you so much. Be sure that you are remembering to hit the like button down in that corner and the subscribe button down in that corner. Be sure to leave us a big boy comment down below and share us in all your various social media circles. If you're catching us on the Facebooks, be sure to give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy. And of course, if you're catching us on audio, be sure to leave us a review on your podcast listener of choice. We don't care. We're on all of them if you look hard enough. Our home is on Podbean. We get a lot of traffic through Apple, but we know there's other folks that use Spotify or other podcast players. So whatever it is, just leave us a nice 5-star review. Help spread the word around there. That seems to be what makes the engine go on our audio listeners. There's quite a bit of audio listeners still. I wonder if you guys are coming over to Facebook and hitting the subscribe button and helping us out. Because even if you don't watch us on YouTube, just make the trip over once, click the subscribe button, and then you can go back to listening however you want to listen.
You don't have to stay. Just drop on by, right?
Right. Just we made cookies.
Yeah. And if you want some of that Cajun red beans and rice, just scan the QR code by my upper left ear, and DoorDash will send it to your house.
I don't think that's how that QR code works.
It isn't? Okay.
It is, no. That does take you to the Linktree page for What's on Joe Mind, where all of our media is linked up. Also, our wonderful TeePublic page, the What's on Joe Mind swag shop, and we've got some news about that a little later on this episode.
My techno life is going to scan it.
Oh, look at that! Well, why does he have Optimus Prime's Energon axe growing out of his forearm?
Because they didn't give one to Optimus Prime.
I guess that's fair.
Right. Anyways, let's go ahead and roll into our wonderful segment called Community Calendar. Community Calendar. Community Calendar.
Wait a minute.
Community Calendar. Community Calendar. Community Calendar is brought to you by Roma Collectibles, the official vagabond hobo retailer of What's on Joe Mind. You can also visit Roma Collectibles at their home base, Roma Collectibles, the toy store on Upper Valley Pike in Springfield, Ohio. They, like the folks in Kokomo, they're closed Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 7, Sunday, 12 to 5. They're buying, they're selling, they're wheeling, they're dealing, they're making it happen. But again, be careful when you approach the shop's proprietors, as we are not confident that what they have ain't catching. So just move slow. Make sure you keep them in eyesight at all times, and everything should work out okay.
But don't go there Monday and Tuesday because they're riding the rails. Yeah.
With their bindles.
They're up in the rafters like vampires waiting to strike.
That's it.
With bindles.
With bindles. Every good vampire has a bindle.
You need a double bindle, like the sack on each end, like a pugil stick.
The Darth Maul bindle.
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking more American
gladiators.
Yeah, American hoboators. Yeah.
American hoboators.
Glad hobos. No, that's not quite working, but you know what I mean.
Anyways, first up, hey, it's the last time we get to talk about this for a while, but Steel City Con is happening this weekend. April 12th to 14th. Today's the 9th, Rob.
I've lost track of time.
Right?
I've been under anesthetic. It's been terrible.
That's true. Rob was he was under. He had to do all the man tests last week. He was off from school, so he went to the doctor.
But he passed.
Maybe.
We hope. We hope. The blood tests aren't back yet. We don't know for certain.
The blood test will come back and it will say, was once a man.
Hey, that means I get my own figure.
That's it.
But that is happening at the Monroeville Convention Center in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, outside the lovely Steel City of Pittsburgh. Tickets and information available at steelcitycon.com. You can see the list of guests there on the left. Christian Cage, John Carpenter, Gina Davis, Heather Graham, Ernie Hudson, John Rhys Davies, the comedy stylings of Matt Rubin and Bart, Susan Sarandon, Booker T, the wrestler Sting, who I can't do the call tonight. There's absolutely no way. And I think pretty much the entire cast of Beverly Hills 90210 and the Breakfast Club, or at least the ones that still walk among the living. So they're all there. Steel City Con tends to have themes. So every so often, if your show comes up, Steel City Con's going to get everybody they possibly can for that show.
I don't remember Sting ever wrestling Booker T. Maybe really young.
It happened a number of times in tag matches.
Right.
Because Harlem Heat was a big deal before Booker T was a solo big deal.
Right. I'm just saying once Booker T was a made man, I think he and Sting were always both good guys in WCW anyway.
Most of the time, yeah. Or just doing different things. But I can't think of one. I'm sure it happened.
I don't remember Sting fighting. I don't remember Sting fighting Jason Priestley either.
Just once on a Thunder.
He'd have whipped that ass.
Well, Jason Priestley's like 5'4".
Yeah, you think he's kicking out of that Scorpion Death Drop?
No, I don't think. I think just one Scorpion splash in the corner, and Jason Priestley is a little wrinkly tinfoil of a man.
Yeah. I think Heather Graham could take Gina Davis too. Oh no, Gina Davis is like 6'4", right?
No, I don't. I don't.
She's roller girl though.
I mean, Gina Davis is like 6 feet tall. She's an athlete.
I mean, archery. That's like billiards.
She's a real athlete on top of that, Mark. She can.
She did all her own stunts in A League of Their Own.
Right. She can like throw a baseball and swing a bat and stuff.
And do the splits.
Probably.
All her own stunts, said Rob.
I don't think she can get up from it at this point, but I mean, she's got to be well into her 60s at this point. But you know,
she really took Lori Petty's spear at home plate. That's pretty awesome.
Correct. Okay. Correct. Because there again, tiny person, Lori Petty, a little teeny person. Yeah, no, Heather Graham, she's younger, but she ain't taking Gina Davis.
All right, maybe. All right, fair enough.
No chance. I'll bet against her on that one all day long. So that's still. Go ahead, Mark.
Tell Bart I'll get to his order when I can. Hold your horses.
I mean, you got a microphone too, man. Just tell him right now.
Yeah, I just did.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
Sucker.
You know, you're telling me to go. You're trying to work through me as a conduit. Just tell him. Just say it.
No, I'm passive aggressive that way.
I know you're from New England.
No, I'm not. God, that's the dirtiest thing you've ever said to me.
I know.
Born in Western New York, grew up in Oregon, went to Arizona State, lived in Washington, D.C. for a little while, back to Phoenix, out to New England for the promise of big dreams.
I mean, Western New York might as well be New England.
Pretty much. I was almost in the lake, though. So,
as I turn Buffalo against the show,
right?
I can hear the entire town they're just turning off the waterfall before they come because they don't want to waste all that.
They're nuts, man. They will jump through a table near you. That Bill's Mafia.
Right. I may need Sting and Booker T.
Sting!
There we go. Dustin Jeffrey helping us out. Sting versus Booker T at Spring Stampede 2000.
Look at that. All right, I'm going to look it up.
So Spring Stampede 2000, not a good show from what I remember.
As far as the Spring Stampedes went, it's in the lower half, yes.
I mean, it's a WCW pay-per-view in the year 2000, so it's not a good show.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as the ones from 2001, except WCW Sin, because I was there.
That's right. Isn't that where Daphne yelled at you?
My friend Matt, yes.
Okay.
Parted his hair. He screamed so loud, inches from his face.
You know what? You only have to be great at one thing, right? So she had that.
I was entertained the rest of the night just on that.
Yeah,
so
when Sting was fighting whoever, you were going, Daphne.
Or was that after everyone stopped vomiting at the guy who had a compound fracture that night?
That was at the end of the show, though. That was the very last.
That was the Sid pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Hey Sid, I know you don't ever go on the up the ropes, but we want you to jump off the second ropes and do a move no one does.
Right.
It'll be great.
Poor Sid. He did what he was told and he paid the price for it. I felt bad for Sid, and I never felt bad for Sid.
There's a reason no one does that.
Right. But
because that happens.
Surveillance Port noting that all 7 people in Binghamton have tuned the show out. Not Mr. Tony. No.
Mr. Tony.
But the Jamestown faithful are strong. Yeah.
And of course, our mainstay, our fortress in Bend, Oregon, the Lava Bears.
Telling you, man. Lava
Indianapolis
Bears.
Could take us or leave us, frankly. But
man, I mean, it's 6 o'clock in Bend, Oregon. Everything's closed now, so I gotta watch us.
All the stuff we see on diners, drive-ins, and dives that you drive past because you want to go to some chain taco shack.
Yeah,
that's what's still open in Bend.
Everything closes crazy early in Bend.
But someday I will tell the story of WCW Sin again. But I have told that kind of recently, so we'll hold off on it for now. Anyways, Steel City Con this weekend, April 12th to 14th. At the Monroeville Convention Center, Monroeville, PA. SteelCityCon.com if you still need tickets. Next up, Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, also this weekend. Thanks to Beta Ray Bob for letting us know about this one. That is happening this weekend as well in the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go off here on just for a second. There has to be something else going on in Huntsville where you can name your expo center after somebody else by this point, right? Not the former Nazi scientist.
The inventor of the V1.
Right.
And V2.
I think, do we have to still name stuff after Werner von Braun? I don't think so.
I mean, true. Also helped put men on the moon. But,
you know, that should be the beautiful.
Trying to blow them to hell first.
The beautiful Bobby Eaton Center, right? I believe he was from Huntsville, Alabama.
Work for me, man, because that guy doesn't get enough of his flowers these days.
Mm-mm. And considered maybe the nicest guy ever.
Right.
So yeah.
Great work, wonderful human being.
I will second that motion.
At a time when that business does not have a bunch of wonderful human beings. But guests there include Elizabeth Berkley, your favorite Orange Cassidy, Rachel Lee Cook, Jonathan Frakes, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Richard Karn, G.I. Joe notable Kari Payton. Remember, he was Ripcord on Renegades. Brandon Routh, Trish Stratus, Tara Strong, George Takei, Lindsay Wagner, and a bunch of actors from anime shows. I don't know anything about them, and many, many more.
I'm glad Trish is there so they can have a wrestler.
Well, Jonathan Frakes.
Oh,
no, that's not what he did.
Frakes will take people out. He's a big guy.
Sure.
I'm glad he's there so they have a trombone player. But info and tickets available at hsvexpo.com. Remember, that's at the wonderful, beautiful Bobby Eaton Center in Huntsville, Alabama this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's kind of cool to get Mark and Paul Gosselaar.
Matt Rubin turning heel on the Steel City Comic Con. As much as I love Sting the Wrestler, Huntsville Expo has a better guest list. Probably more frugal to attend as well. I don't know, man. I don't know. Turning Mr. Pittsburgh turning on Steel City Con.
Who knew?
Mr. Pittsburgh. Disappointing.
I hope they play his music when he makes a surprise arrival in Huntsville.
I'm sure the beautiful Bobby Eaton Center is wired for that sort of thing.
Probably. Can't you imagine it? The glass shatters and out comes Matt in the black vest. It's gonna be amazing.
I mean, they're prepared for any kind of wrestling entrance at the beautiful Bobby Eaton Center.
Makes sense.
Oh. Daredevil Dave, sorry I'm late, fellas. Every highway was jammed. So now I'm headed for Mark's house. Be ready, Mr. Weber. I'll be there in like 3 days.
Now with the bridge out.
I mean, no lie. I think I sent an order to a Daredevil Dave the other day. I'm nationwide now.
Dustin Jeffrey knows what's up. He's calling out for Al Borland. That's right. Richard Karn in the house in Huntsville this weekend. This weekend. But that's what we got for Huntsville. Again, the Von Braun Center. Huntsville, Alabama.
Need some help with that.
April 12th to the 14th.
Maybe it was his double agent brother, Ludwig.
HSVexpo.com.
Alabama, shouldn't it be the Wayne Sneeden Center? Now we're talking.
Right. But he's from Auburn, so maybe not. That might be a bridge too far. Formerly aligned with the Hun, that's one thing. But Auburn guy. Figure Six Pack notes, Kari Payton was Renegade's Ripcord. We just told you that, yeah. You guys had him on the show years ago. Yes, we did.
He was, I think, Grimlock.
Friend of the program.
He was Grimlock on a Transformers show too, I think.
I can't keep it. That more recent one that was Bumblebee and Sideswipe and Long Arm and Grimlock. He was
can't be that recent. I was working at Hasbro.
Oh well, no, maybe not then.
A long time ago.
Maybe not then. I don't know.
I mean,
anywho, Rob, you had
the original,
right? Because Phil has nothing better to do. Robots in Disguise 2015. So there you go.
There you go. Robots.
Oh, he actually got beat to the punch by Mr. Pittsburgh, who is all about Huntsville.
Mr. Alabama, apparently.
Mr. Huntsville, Matt Rubin. Next up, also happening this weekend. You gotta love it when Larry tells you about shows. But he is going to be at the El Paso Comic Con this weekend. That is happening at the El Paso Convention Center. You can check that out. You can see the website on there, elpasocomiccon.com. They got a cool, cute little dragon logo. Yay. All kinds of guests at this one, too. But they're all inferior to Larry, so I'm not bothering to list them. It's Larry. Come on now. Look at him. He's even got his hat and his shades, his finest T-shirt. What else do you need, man? He's there. He's got proverbial bells on. You were saying, Mark?
I've been to El Paso, which is a weird flex. But when we were home back in Arizona, for Christmas one year, Arizona State made the Sun Bowl in El Paso. We don't get to catch a whole lot of ASU home games out here in Rhode Island. So I'm like, that's like a 6-hour drive. They're playing Duke on like New Year's Day. So we road tripped out to El Paso, and it was the best thing ever. When we hit the Texas state border, it said, there's a road sign that said like El Paso, 10 miles. Let me look at the map here real quick. It was like, I don't know, Pecos, 310 miles. And then the last one was Port Arthur, right? Nobody's driving to Port Arthur from El Paso because Port Arthur is as far east as you could go in Texas. They only put that on there so they could say Port Arthur, 1,483 miles. It was like, you could drive for a week and still not get there because we're Texas.
I thought Port Arthur was a soap opera.
It should be. Nobody's going to Port Arthur through El Paso.
I'm sorry, that was Port Charles. My bad.
Oh, there you go.
My bad.
That's the town with General Hospital.
Shout out to all our fans in Port Arthur.
Right. Yeah. That is right there on the Louisiana border, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as far east as you can get, I think.
But again, I don't remember who else is at this show. It
don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, Larry's there. If you really have to know, ElPasoComicCon.com. Tickets are there for you too.
NBA on NBC commercials in Jordan's heyday. Jordan and the Bulls face the Pacers this Sunday. You're like, you named
Jordan
one
the Bulls
player.
face whoever. Does it really matter?
You named one player, right? It was like when Marvel threw away all pretense and made a cartoon called Wolverine and the X-Men.
Right.
Like, come on.
It's like Snake Eyes featuring G.I. Joe.
That's it, right?
G.I. Joe featuring Snake Eyes. Gladys Knight and the Pips. We all know where the talent is.
Yeah.
I finally got through the old 90s X-Men cartoon this past week.
Well, we're working on it. We're not quite there yet.
I have to say, I was impressed. Written very well. The animation is a little rough in spots, but most of those episodes are really well done.
It's Larry Houston, right?
Yeah, another former friend of the show. Or I guess he's still a friend of the show. But...
Wait, what happened?
We haven't offended him yet.
Right.
Larry's mad at us?
We didn't that night.
My like I said, my daughter is Kitty Pryde fan #1. So whenever Jubilee is ineffective or annoying, she's like up on her feet, like off the couch, mad. That's what you get, Jubilee. Right,
and that's going to continue.
Tell her to watch Evolution.
I know I'm not really spilling things for you here, Mark, but
yeah,
that's going to continue because I think in the last season there was an episode where Jubilee was useful, and that was the one and only time.
She's the worst.
Just like in the comics.
Again, yes.
I mean, for the most part, they left her at the base. She wasn't even in most episodes. Yeah. But
wearing a raincoat inside with her knockoff Bret Hart sunglasses. Get out of here with your sparkly fingers.
Right. Again, good show. Good show. Really, really well done. Well written. Again, the animation, they struggled with animation the entire run of that show. It was the dying days of Sunbow, and they kind of went from studio to studio, and it got patched together. But man, the writing was strong. There are some of those episodes that deal with some real heavy subject matter that deal with it in a more mature way than the adult shows that would have been on at the same time. No lie. There's some of them that are that good, and that surprised me.
And Cyclops is always good. So
Cyclops was not bad in that show. I enjoyed when we had Cyclops episodes.
He almost made up for.
Well, that's because it's Cyclops without all the baggage they heaped on him to destroy the character over the years.
Right. It's awesome Cyclops before he became one of the most questionable guys on the hero side in the Marvel universe.
But that's just what Marvel likes to do. So
he's the guy.
Zaymot CGC says, I don't think anyone liked Jubilee. I will put Jubilee on the list ahead of Gambit. And really, another thing that I liked about that X-Men cartoon is that everybody else on the show seems to be annoyed by Gambit. So that really made it all a lot more tolerable when he would show up.
He's super popular, man. A lot of people like Gambit.
With somebody, I can't stand Gambit. I can't. Just bad character. Talks about himself in the third person.
Oh yeah.
Dumb accent. Bad costume. Cool power used in a dumb way. I just.
Why are you so mad, mon ami?
You get out now.
Get out now.
Next up.
Bring poor Mark back.
All right.
That was rough. Earlier you said you like Cajun.
Cajun food, yeah. That's like the one thing me and Gambit are having trouble have in common there. Andrew Galgan notes that it's he and I agree on one thing. Gambit sucked. Look, I wouldn't say that you disagree with me on stuff, man, but if you disagree with me, you're wrong. So that's all I can say.
Gambit doesn't suck. Mr. Sinister sucks.
Sean Russell likes Gambit, and that's I think. Do I need to ban him now?
I mean, careful, isn't he? He pays to be here, right?
Yeah, I know. He's a Louisiana guy too.
I don't pay nothing.
That's true.
You ban me all the time.
All right. Yeah, I just kick you out. I don't ban you. I just kick you out.
I usually come back. Steve Young gets the best comment.
No, not really.
Don't be like that, mon ami.
As apparently Mark thinks that Gambit is Jamaican.
Yeah, man. Look, man, Gambit be telling you that everything gonna be Irish, man.
Oh boy.
Daredevil Dave will be at St. Tammany CollectorCon. No punch and pie, only jambalaya and apple pie moonshine. Hell yeah!
Okay.
Jambalaya and apple pie moonshine. But you can see there, that is April 20th, 21st. The Sarge in the catbird seat here. There you can see there are other guests, but we're going to focus on the Sarge because he's the Sarge.
He's a guy.
This is going on in Mandeville, Louisiana. That is at St. Tammany CollectorsCon.com for more details and tickets. Kids 12 and under are free, so if you need yourself a kid, that's a good place to pick one up. They are absolutely free. Mark, will you be providing your children are both over 12, aren't they?
Yeah, too old.
Right.
Can't double there. But I'm thinking Sergeant Slaughter, I believe he's from North Carolina originally. He might take some of that apple pie moonshine. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Straighten that mustache right out.
That's one of the highlights anytime you're at a convention with the folks from Roma Collectibles. That is a hallmark of the Roma experience.
Aren't we going to see them soon? Just saying.
Yeah.
We are.
They will be at Joe Fest with us.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil Dave, I think he is disgusted by your Cajun accent as well, Mark.
Whatever. Because he's from there. It's not an accent. It's just how they talk.
Well, it's only as bad as Gambit's.
Yeah, do your Oregon accent. I bet it sucks.
There's an Oregon accent?
Yeah, man. It's also Jamaican.
Well, okay.
You know what they say in the Bend, Oregon, man. They say that everything gonna be Irish in the Bend, Oregon, man. It's Bend, Oregon, man.
We're so gonna get demonetized.
Oh, so good.
I don't have the music loaded up anymore, so I can't play the. Let me see if maybe I can find it real quick.
Oh God.
No, there is no light reggae background music.
Right.
Yeah,
that's for the best.
Light reggae sucks.
That background music is nothing but trouble anyway.
I only like speed reggae. Yeah.
speed reggae, metal reggae.
ska reggae.
We have a few sound effects, but not any music.
Down boy. Did I do a Yiddish accent? I don't think I would.
I think you should stay away from that, Mark. I don't know what that is. That's maybe not the best idea. Jake Rose says that the Oregon accent is pronouncing Oregon and Willamette correctly.
That's because he's from the 503, baby, or maybe the 541, baby. Oregon, Willamette. One guy once said he's driving through bed. He said he needed to get to Theodles. Which way is it to Theodles? He said, and it took him a while to figure out, Mr. California. They went, wait, the Dalles? You want to go to the Dalles? I don't know. Well, it's not Theodles, you idiot. There's a space in between them. Burns, Milliken, Crescent.
Two-time All-Pro quarterback Steve Young notes that TC's and human resources visit in your future. Probably.
I remember when I was young and I thought those human resources people are nice. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Anyway, moving forward. I'm sorry. I'm seeing Bend, Oregon in a whole new light now.
Yeah, I'm on.
I clicked too much. May 5th, it's another Toy Man. God forbid we have a show. We go more than 2 or 3 shows in a row without a Toy Man ad. But when you put on this many shows, this is what happens, right? That is happening on Sunday, May 5th, 9 to 2. $5 gets you in. $15 gets you in an hour early. And that's when all the action happens. Parking is free. Dave Draper may be in attendance. And, of course, Dave Draper hugs are priceless. And they do get you 0% off on your admission. So be sure to hug Dave many times for big, big savings. That's at the Machinist Hall on St. Charles Rock Road in Bridgeton, Missouri, just outside of St. Louis by the airport. Can't miss it. 2 full stories of toy vendors, artists, crafts. Folks show up in cosplay. There's always a Ghostbusters unit there that has props out of their minds. Sometimes they have an R2-D2 contest. It's good stuff, man. If you're anywhere close to Toy Man, you got to get to Toy Man. Those Ghostbusters, they run like 20 deep, and they've all got gear.
And they're all Venkman.
Every single damn one of them. Some of them even shave the widow's peak into their head. No, it hasn't.
That's one of my favorite bits of Stranger Things when they go as Ghostbusters for Halloween '84, and I forget his name, but the African American kid shows up in a Venkman outfit. They're like, "What are you doing?" It's like, Venkman's the best. Of course, I'm going to be Venkman.
Generally speaking, they use their own names.
Oh, okay.
Which is cool. Like they get the font going in the patch, and it's good stuff.
That's cool. What's not cool is calling me a New Englander. Knock it off. Or I'll have something for you later in the show. That's called foreshadowing.
Diana Davis asked, "What about Don Draper hugs?" You have a chance on that because he is from St. Louis. Mm-hmm. But the wonderful John Hamm. But I don't think he hangs around there too much these days. Not unless there's some sporting events going on, important sporting events like playoffs or.
Well, that doesn't happen.
Oh.
He was in town an awful lot for that Stanley Cup run a few years ago. I remember that.
Now the Cardinal way is failing in free agency, I guess. or just putting together just enough talent to win 85 games and maybe squeak out the weakest division in baseball. Yeah. Hey, nobody else is very good. Maybe we don't have to try very hard.
People will still show up. Anyways. Daredevil Dave notes that just to clarify, children are not free, but he will be offering 2-for-1 deals.
Oh, there you go.
That sounds like a steal. That's a bargain at twice the price.
BOGO.
2 for 1, 1 for nothing.
Phil Donnelly had a comment that I was going to put up here. There we go. Phil now has 3 different Ghost Trap props thanks to Frozen Empire. So there you go. Are these the things that your popcorn comes in, Phil? Is that what they're doing for Frozen Empire?
Nah, he's saving up for the Dune ones.
Maybe.
When
What is
does
that? Like a popcorn sandworm?
When
you
does
reach
that
into
Dune sequel come out?
It's out already.
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
Must have missed it.
You reach into the worm's mouth and that's where they get the popcorn.
Right.
Just be careful the one sitting on Mickey Rourke's lap.
You just want to control the spice.
The spice, you can add that at the popcorn bar where right after you buy it, you can add the cheese sprinkles or the butter sprinkles. Yeah, it's right there. Lots of spice. And of course, we're right about Phil. Yeah, 2 different popcorn buckets and a Spirit Halloween one. So there you go.
Speaking of bad movies,
Diana Davis notes that usually they haul drums that big on carts. We know we're not far from Purdue University, home of the world's largest bass drum, and that sucker's got its own trailer bed.
And your NCAA champions.
Well, almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Purdue.
Yeah. Look, man, for what normally happens to Purdue in that tournament, national runner-up is okay.
That's not bad at all.
National runner-up is all right.
Just me and all the New Englanders are very proud of UConn.
Right. It is your native land, after all.
Absolutely. Hometown. Born and bred.
When was the last time the old Rhode Island Rams got into the tournament, Mark? It's been a few years, isn't it?
It's been a little while. No, this is Friartown. Thank you very much. They actually have a billboard coming in from the east. It's Friartown. And I'm like, nobody talks about University of Providence. Come on now.
Honestly, though, I think it's been more recent that we've talked about Providence than we've talked about Rhode Island in a national sense.
That's probably true.
But Cheapest Big Spender notes that for some reason, Mark, my Django Fett showed up today without his head. Some dog went Mace Windu on him and chewed the package up and his head. So there you go.
Wow.
One of my favorite memes ever is young Boba holding up his dad's helmet with the head in it.
Right.
And then it said, "Worst bring your kid to work day ever."
I remember sitting there in the theater waiting for the terrible comedy moment of the head falling out of the helmet when he did that. I was waiting for it, and it didn't happen.
His
and
head's still in there.
I don't know if I feel good about that moment or not, right?
Oh.
I'm not sure if it was a good thing that the head didn't come out or a bad thing that the head didn't come out. But anyways.
A Mandalorian never takes off his helmet, you know.
I guess not.
There you go. Except in season 1 of The Mandalorian for no reason. Okay.
Well, no, he was getting healed by the robot, and he took it off because the robot doesn't count.
So dumb.
Why
would you throw away that moment?
Because Pedro Pascal has to get paid. He's got to actually show up on camera to get his union dues paid. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, otherwise, it's all going to John Wayne's grandson,
right? Anyways, we got another new Deke episode to close out community calendar today. So everybody, shut up and listen. I'm so nice to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The algorithm sucks, and I have no idea how to beat it. And we're going to community calendar. Community calendar. Drama and intrigue.
The monkeying with my photo.
That Yeti was defiling your photo.
The Yeti's a vandal. You know he's got a good heart, but he's always up to no good. That Yeti.
Now I'm going to have to touch up my appearance.
He's
good for some. Oh no, he's gone full Odo again.
Oh, there we go.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. It's weird when it's weirder when you undo it.
Right? When I turn back into this.
Right.
I mean, hey, let's be honest. I didn't ask for this. Right? But I'm not sure this is better.
No. The featureless mark is absolutely wrong.
It makes my distinctive lack of eyebrows stand out even more.
And then when you undo it, your actual human features come back and look strange, which is really bizarre.
Breathtaking.
It's
Breathtaking.
You guys can do it too. You have the technology. I know it's my bit, but
I don't even want to see what that is.
Mark my words. Yeah. We are going to open a show someday, all Botoxed out like crazy. Yeah. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. We are a fan cast about the world. It'll be great.
It's gonna be like a bad ventriloquist act with no dummy.
Yeah.
So right?
Good.
Okay, no, it's on.
It's time for the news.
Let's do it a week.
I'm sorry, Mark. I hit the button on top of you there. What were you saying?
Fine. We'll do it a week when Phil's with us, and we won't tell him. So he'll look human, and we'll all look like Night at the Wax Museum. Get ready, Phil.
Right. Anyways, first up, first news item. I blew your cue there, Mark.
I know, right?
We only do this show every week, right? Anyways, just a little add-on to last week's bit on our O-Ring Ghostbuster reveal. Pre-orders active for the O-Ring Ghostbusters on June 8th. June 8th on Hasbro Pulse. So be sure to mark that day if you were at all interested in Hasbro's O-Ring Ghostbusters line. Mark, you say you're in on this?
I don't think I am. They're great. I'm not down on them, other than the fact that it sheds light on the absolute price gouging of the G.I. Joe 2-packs a couple of years ago. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't need them.
I guess. Mark's not a Ghostbusters guy, so
I'm like most people. I think Ghostbusters is great.
I mean,
but I don't have any memorabilia or items from that franchise.
I don't know why Mark hates the Ghostbusters, but
do you have Ghostbusters stuff?
Not much.
Like I have the gorilla.
It's right. I mean, everybody has the gorilla.
Yeah.
But after the gorilla, not too much.
Yeah, like you can like it, not have anything.
Right. For me, it is absolutely down. I'm probably in for this and not much else. I'll be honest. I think
they look great.
Good.
They look great. Prices right. I'm not bemoaning anybody who gets them. And for Ghostbuster like maniac fans, this is fantastic.
Right.
I just don't need it. Right. So.
All right. Next news item. Maybe you could do something in a soft reggae. All right, you can stop now. Yeah, Wave 6 of Super 7s.
Get out of here.
They are done. They are out. They did not meet pre-order levels, so they canceled the pre-order, which is fine. I mean, these are just straight up repaints. They're not even terribly different repaints of characters that were already released, and so yeah, if you were in on Super 7's Wave 6 Ultimates, they should have processed your refunds by now, or if they haven't, they will be shortly. I haven't paid that much attention to it because I was not in on these. But yeah, the Deke versions of Baroness, Lady J, and Scarlet, not happening. You'll have to make do with the originals.
At least it made Scarlet right-handed,
I guess, and gave her a sniper rifle, which is her character, her absolutely iconic weapon.
Justin Jeffries had a great comment.
No Laker girl Scarlet.
Oh, no Laker girl.
Right. No purple glove and boot, Lady J. And then really that Baroness doesn't look too bad. Baroness looks pretty good.
She was the win of the three, but
right.
I think this actually got canceled. Even the people who bought it were like, okay, good. I'll get my money back. I don't have to buy them. Okay.
Rachel Salinas asks, could they have worked as Chameleon, Canary Ann, and Coral? I think people would have bought a Coral.
They might have sold more.
Right. I have my doubts as to a Chameleon or a Canary Ann. So Chameleon doesn't look enough like a different character, and not enough people really know what Canary Ann is. So
Michael Gene Fleming for the win, though.
He does point out Scarlett did attend Marine Sniper School, so okay, but it's still not her preferred weapon of choice.
She was really good at sniping them Marines, let me tell you.
Right. Picked them off one at a time.
Gung-ho down. Oh, wait, he's just a jungle trooper.
No, he was a jungle recon, and then his secondary specialty was Recondo.
Oh.
Which is like really, then what's Recondo's specialty, frankly?
I thought it was just hanging around Recondo. Looks like secondary military specialty. Like Bazooka's secondary military specialty was Alpine. Okay.
Right. Diana Davis asks, I wonder who at Super 7 chose this as an idea. I'd have preferred just one new character. Honestly, these 3 repaints probably cost less than one new character would have. So this is just...
That's what they were thinking.
Right. Like this would have been an add-on run to a line that's already, it just would have been much easier.
Without name dropping, I know the guy who ran the Ultimates line for Super 7, but they let him go. So
right, he's out of there.
And he's great. So it's probably the guy who came after that guy.
But again, fun idea for a cash grab if people are into it, but they were not into it. So canceled it is. I got to use the extra big canceled label on it too. I was happy.
Okay, right. Hold on. What's the status of this again?
I think it is proceeding with caution.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. Look, it's canceled.
Ah. To quote the great Powers Booth, well, bye.
Bye.
That's short enough. We can play that without getting in trouble, right? Fine.
Yeah, no, we're
or
fine.
Is the pause too long between?
No, we're good. We're good there. Look, it's you saying it, right?
Bye.
You can recite spoken word all you want,
right? But I would rather drop the clip.
I don't have that many clips loaded up and ready to go, Mark.
It's under Curly Bill, not Powers Booth.
All I have is Reckless Hot Take.
Oh.
And
really? So you would play that if somebody had a Reckless Hot Take?
I mean, that's the theory, sure.
Let me work one up here.
Right. Just save it. We don't want to make it too obvious.
Write it down.
Yeah.
Anyways, next news item. Hey, this is happening on Kickstarter. There you go.
So good.
There you go. But Dan Kliggensmith has started his campaign for creating G.I. Joe volumes 14 and 15. That's right, 2 books, 1 campaign. That is funding through April 29th. Just head over to Kickstarter. Type in search creating G.I. Joe. It'll pull this right up for you. All kinds of goodies involved with this one. I think this one of the stretch goals is a slipcover case for all 15 volumes, which would be very interesting to me if I had any of the previous volumes. But unfortunately I don't. There's only so far the budget will stretch. Tough choices are sometimes made.
So you're in on the Ghostbusters, though. Wait, what about all the Ultimates money you're getting back on Lady J and Scarlet and Baroness?
That would be zero.
They kept your money.
Sure. Right. We'll let you think that.
Mike kept his money, and that's why he's not getting any back.
Fair enough.
Right, I think I bought groceries instead. I think I decided that was the better call there,
Food.
I got a bunch. I have sporadically large orders of classified, the occasional vintage beachhead to pick up, and after that, I don't buy a whole lot of toys. So it's not much of a budget.
It's always grocery season.
Right. It is. I don't want to start buying the discount milk.
You got to save your money. There's a new wave of groceries coming up in May.
Right. I have no intention of switching to Malk. No, thank you.
Didn't want to step on your line. I was about to jump in with that. So we're not going to Malk, are we?
Or even worse, milk. Oh, not Malk.
Fat Tony's going to be milking rats in the back.
Surveillance port on the spot for us. Dan was at 69% of initial funding earlier today.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, Beaver.
Look, we just had him. We just had him on a couple of weeks ago. If we haven't figured out that that's what Eric is good for at this point, then why did we bother having him on the show? But Brian O notes that this series needs an omnibus like Art of G.I. Joe. I tend to agree. I think I'd be more into an omnibus at this point than trying to collect 15 volumes. Holy cow. Steve Young asks, how does this fit with Skybound's compendium? It doesn't.
Spoiler.
Right? Wait your turn, Steve Young. Wait your turn. But again, this is funding through the end of the month, April 29th. Well on its way. It is almost assuredly in a situation where we can say pledge with confidence, because this looks like it's going to get done pretty handily. Mark, were you in on this one before? If you have any of these books?
I've seen them and they're great, but I wasn't in from jump.
Right.
And like those of you who followed the show know, there've been some lean years since the Hasbro years. So
right.
Anything that comes out this regularly probably became a problem for me at some point. But right now, strong like wood. So we'll see.
Well, you got Mrs. Weber saving you all kinds of cash on.
She's a hard-working woman.
On Eclipse trips, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
All kinds of cash, just staying right in pocket.
She knows what's up. She doesn't finance, just travel.
She got that hotel room for what, $29 a night?
Right? Something like that.
Madness.
Yeah.
You stayed at the lovely Stratford Inn, right?
We had a fine place up there in Sugarbush, Vermont.
$29, and they gave her some Burger King coupons. That's how good she is.
Oh no, you get the package deal and dine to the fine Minuteman Cafe next door.
We had a fine intercontinental breakfast served by the man, which is weird.
Oh,
there were these three woodsmen.
Again, head to Kickstarter, search Creating G.I. Joe, take you right to it. Next news item.
Classic.
Hey, it's time again for another Kickstarter. Our friend Ryan Droz from Star Joe's has started his campaign for his third issue of his original comic series, Stealth Hammer. This one is Stealth Hammer, the Guardian and the Guide. This one is all about Ari the Elf and his overall contributions to the larger story at play. So again, if you like America's favorite strawberry milk drinking elf and you need to see more, this is the project for you. This is funding through May 7th. Just $6,500 gets it done. So it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's going at $5 and $10 at a time. So make sure you're spreading the word on this to everybody who might like the fantasy sci-fi adventure comic Stealth Hammer.
Redhead.
One and two went off without a hitch for him. So this has been pretty successful to this point. So hopefully we can help keep that momentum going.
I like the redhead. I'll pull for him.
Okay, that's a she, but sure.
Whatever. That's
the Stealth Hammer, but sure. It's based on his wife, Mark. Don't be making passes.
Look, I'm just saying I can't see a whole lot of the character in that cropped image.
Make it
I was,
fast.
I was being supportive. I mean, truth be told, I prefer the Stealth Hammer from Earth 2. Brrr.
The Golden Age Stealth Hammer.
I think he's out again. He's gone off into parallel universes without a parallel universe hook. I gotta just cut him off at the pass sometimes.
It still sucks. Not this, but the parallel universe.
Just wait, man. The Stealth Hammer multiverse will take it all right back to respectability.
Phil's got a good point. If I can get banned 12 more times, I'll tie his record. Fingers crossed.
The question is asked by Diana: how do his eyebrows float in front of his hat? He's an elf. That's how.
Telekinetic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Comics.
I don't know if it's so much going floating above his hat as growing through the hat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that your grasp of the physics is right. Anyways, next news item. Announced earlier today.
Tuesday.
That's right. It's a Tuesday news drop, but we'll take it because it's a cool one. Skybound Publishing or Skybound Comics. That's not connected to Image Publishing. I had to throw this up last minute. G.I. Joe Real American Hero Compendium Volume 1 will be hitting your local comic shop on October 2 or digitally on October 15. That is collecting issues of Marvel's G.I. Joe Real American Hero 1 through 50 in one magnificent tome. And that is going to retail for $64.99. That is rated O for old school. And what do they say about the old school?
It's the best school.
There ain't no school like the old school.
Wait.
But right there, issues 1 through 50. And then we'll... we're as our live chat spirals off into the Stealth Hammer extended universe. Thank you, Mark Weber.
I did that.
Yeah. You know what? You're banned from next week's show.
What the hell?
Next week's show is you're suspended.
Fine.
Fine. You're suspended. Yeah. The guy on vacation, he's suspended.
Right. You're banning me to Jamaica. Come on.
So
wait till I come back, man. My accent's gonna be top notch.
If you don't have the dreadlock wig, I'm not letting you in. Okay, just so you know, I'll have Phil.
Don't have the dread. Don't do it.
I'm gonna have Phil on standby.
Yeah, man.
Don't
if they have red locks.
Well, yes, then absolutely yes.
Yeah.
But again, Skybound putting out 1 through 50. I'm anxious to see what Volume 2 is going to be, how they're going to handle that. If it'll be the next 50 issues, or they'll do it in chronological order with regular issues and special missions, because special missions started after issue 50, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be a factor here. But anyways, we'll see. Anyway, I'm putting the horse ahead of the cart, as a professor of mine used to say. Because that was something I did kind of a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, $64.99 gets done. That is in October. So be sure to hit up your local comic shop and get your copy reserved today.
With 50 issues for $65. I mean,
hey, not bad. Not bad.
Plus Scarlett's right-handed on the cover. So come to think of it, everybody's right-handed.
Well, that is an Andy Kubert cover. So he's going to get that right.
There you go.
Phil Donnelly notes that a few yearbook issues should be in Volume 1, though. I've got people correcting me, and it's, I know I just kind of made that sound like a question, but I know that it I'm aware, guys. I've done. I'm pretty good with this stuff, really, honest. Let's
put in the yearly recaps of what you just read.
there were I don't remember a whole lot of original material in those yearbooks.
Number 1 had like no original material. The first
Yeah.
yearbook had no original material. 2, 3, and 4 had original stories.
Okay, all right. It's been a while.
Yeah.
George Fidzusko believes in me.
Are you for sure that's the pronunciation, or are you just giving your best guess?
I am giving it my best shot. I know it's different every time I put him on screen.
I mean, that's the name of the night.
Right?
Easily.
George is a regular, man. It's just there's sometimes he throws up a comment and I have to just take a shot at his name, and I feel bad because I'm an Irisari. I try to get people's name right because nobody gets mine right.
Sure.
Yeah, but we try. I'm hoping that my local comic shop will save me a copy, but I have a feeling that I won't be able to pick it up on the day of release, so they'll put it on the shelf.
They'll save it for like 3 hours, but you're not there by lunch, and they're like, hey,
right. Be like,
shitless layabout.
I left that book sit for like 2 weeks once, so my pull list of 5 titles was far too cumbersome for them to bear a full month of hold.
I just changed my comic shop. There's Newberry Comics. There's a billion of them out here in my home, New England. But there's one a lot closer to my work now. So
all right,
if I go, we'll see if they get. Just pull the things on my pull list. That's all I ask. It ain't too hard. Let me give you money.
all right. And next news item.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a repeat, man. You just did
It's a classic, though.
Right, but you just did it last week, man.
I mean, I could have gone with some Duran, I guess, but
right.
Maybe
that's what we're here. We're here for variety, man. We want all the hits of the 70s, 80s, and today.
Okay, we'll see what I can do. I don't take requests though, sucker.
Greg Augustin asked, it's got to be in bookstores too, besides local comic shops, right? And look, in the press release, they were saying be sure to check in with your local comic shop. So I'm just trying to echo that. My guess is that yes, it will, but probably not in great numbers. So local comic shop may be your best bet on this one.
It depends. I mean, Skybound's gotten in on bookstores and things because of the popularity of Invincible and Walking Dead. So you'll see them in the graphic novel section. But.
Sure. But this is a big book, so they're not ordering 20 of it. Right. No. It's a large volume and a big ticket item. So they're not going to have a bunch of it. They might get 1 or 2. So yeah. I would say local comic shop is going to be your best bet on this. Dustin Jeffrey is placing a request for Crazy Train Newsbreak Dude. Phil is requesting Little Spanish Flea. I mean, that's always a classic. Little Spanish Flea is always a winner.
Maybe we can get Baby Elephant Walk.
Ooh, hey, Mancini,
the mascot friend,
the news dude's best friend.
Ooh, old Henry Mancini would do
that. I mean, that's a
see
right there lends itself to it.
Now it's out. Spoil it.
You can use it next week when you're suspended.
Right from Jamaica Mon.
Next news item.
I'm more of a Turks and Caicos kind of guy, though.
Next news item. There we go. Okay. A little Rio. That's good.
Somebody requested Duran.
That's good. We got some Skybound bits. Transformers 7 releases tomorrow. So if you're collecting the Transformers book, that is there. And of course, just a reminder, no Real American Hero this month.
But Duke and Cobra Commander.
That's coming. We're not there yet. It's later in the month. They're in the
Oh, cheapest big spender with the win.
Who wants Mongo Jerry?
Isn't it Mungo?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, whatever. It's in the summertime.
True story. My sports radio station moved to the lowest number on the dial, 550, and replaced some like 100-year-old radio station that just played oldies on loop.
Right.
And we made the most terrible intro to the morning show at the time. So we were the first live thing on the air, right? And so I used Mungo Jerry's Summertime as the beginning bit. And then I dubbed in the guys just screaming at each other. And then I went back to Mungo Jerry and did an old guy voiceover going, "Mother, what happened to our radio station?" It was fabulous. I wish I probably have that, but it's on DAT tape, right?
Right.
So
God.
Good luck finding somebody to play a DAT tape.
Well, seeing as we're not bootlegging any Fish concerts, yeah, it'd be difficult for us to do.
Yeah, it's a problem. And if you needed Mungo Jerry for your What's on Joe Mind bingo card, this is a big night for you.
Check. So thank you for the assist, cheapest big spender.
Yes.
Next news item. All right, stop. We're going to get demonetized.
Yeah.
Right? That was close.
The closer we get to recognizability.
Can they demonetize us for duding?
I don't think so, because honestly, your pitch is not great. So
No, I'm kind of pitchy, dog.
So I think that would be a tough to prove case.
That's on purpose. Keep us salted.
Hey, later tonight, you can get yourself some Greetings from Joe Fest merchandise from the What's on Joe Mind swag shop.
Yeah.
That's right. And just in time for the big sales starting tomorrow. 35% off of tees, deep discounts on all the other merchandise. But this is our Greetings from Joe Fest t-shirt design. It's going to be right there for you. See, we got Beachhead on a postcard. We got a Staff Sergeant C-Nugs stamp on that bad boy. So be sure to head over to the swag shop. Link down below and right above the description there. Head over, pick up your t-shirt, your mug, your stickers, your coasters. I don't know what they sell. They got all kinds of stuff. You can get this as wall art. That would be crazy. But right there at the swag shop, get it later tonight, or wait till tomorrow when the sale kicks in.
Are the other 146 beachheads jealous that you chose this one? I
mean,
for the shirt.
Technically, that's not one that I own at all. So
you don't know that. You might own them now.
True. That's possible. I would have to cross-reference.
See, here's the thing. He took pictures of all of them and then didn't tell which one he used. So they all think they're in there.
Right. But anyways, I would have to cross-reference my list of sellers with whoever owned the original photograph there. And yeah, so. Phil asks, is that a CNUG Forever stamp, or do I have to break out the 1 and 2 cent editions? That is the Forever stamp. Because Staff Sergeant CNUGs is forever.
The 1 and 2 cent stamps are Gary Godso and CoverGirl, ironically.
I think we have that photo. So it's right there for you. We got t-shirt designs. We haven't done one of them in a while. It's time to boost up the old swag shop again.
Mm-hmm.
Next news item. That's all we got.
You didn't think I could do the next? I just did.
Be sure to tune into the G.I. Joe 3D Printing Podcast for all your Chunky Tech Yeti and Meowler Tech news. We'll have more for you as we get closer to Joe Fest, I'm sure. Lots of big projects and cool stuff going down if you're heading down to Augusta, Georgia this summer, because we'll be there. So will the Irish. That's always good.
Who are the Irish?
Yeah, maybe you want to clarify.
Is it a band?
Brian and Patty.
Oh, yeah, that's solid.
They're excited.
I didn't recognize him by his nickname. I always call him Patrick.
He'll probably cut you for that.
Probably Irish, man.
Look, man. Nothing starts a fight faster than calling Patty.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I called him Patrick. So
that's kind of along the same line there.
He's not going to cut me right away because of the red hair, because I might be Irish, maybe. Right. So I'm more Jamaican than Irish. But.
Well, I always figured that the Jamaican part was really just cultural from living in Bend, Oregon.
Probably. You want to hear my Irish accent? It's not very good. Next time on What's on Joe Bob.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Right. Figure Six Pack asking how much longer for the chunky boat and jet kitties. I guess as soon as we figure out cardboard boats and jets.
Yeah.
Dude, he could be driving the whale. You bet. Little head sticking out there.
And just make a hovercraft out of some Amazon boxes and you're good to go.
With his tail lashing back and forth between those high-powered turbines. It's a great idea.
It should work great.
Anyhow. That's the news. I gotta find my news button. Where'd it go? There it is. Be right back with you. We're going to take a quick moment and step away for a quick moment from our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
Okay, we are running a little short tonight, so if anybody has any questions, we do have time for a few in the live chat tonight. If anybody's got something specific they want to bring up that maybe we didn't cover, or things they want to know about, or insider information from Racktime Rob on the inner workings of the Carmel High School district. All that good stuff. All that information is right here for you every Tuesday. So we encourage you to ask questions.
More potentially demonetizing accent requests from Mark.
Yeah.
I don't know about demonetizing, but certainly, I mean, it's a canceling type of thing. Yeah.
People turning in their subscriptions by the minute.
Right.
Like we're counter. Or a thermometer that I can slowly empty.
The Weber meat thermometer.
Yeah.
We've just lost Freeport, Jamaica, and Long Island.
Right. Phil Donnelly asking, who is the man who would risk his neck for his brother, man? And that is, of course, Shaft.
Shut your mouth.
Who comes through 10 times out of 10? That's right. Hey,
just talking about Shaft.
Looks like you're going to have to close and go sell. Yeah. The next line's a curse. I wouldn't do
it. Jake Rose, somehow I missed that the ferret was a Pulse exclusive. Any idea if it is answered exclusively? How do you sell out of pre-orders? Good question. I mean, we've talked about the pre-order stuff till we're blue in the face, but the good news on it is for most of these other Pulse exclusives, there's that initial wave where they meet their order and then they typically go back on sale again. So don't worry too much.
Yeah.
If you missed it this time around, because history would say that it comes back around. You won't get them as fast as the rest of us, but it'll be there.
You'll get yours sometimes after Rob gets his. Then Mike gets his. Then I get mine from my pile of loot. Then you
Right.
Wait,
Right.
it won't be pile of loot though.
No.
Yeah.
No, because even though they did not make note in the official Hasbro press release that they gave us, it turned out that it was a Pulse exclusive. Big Bad Toy Store wanted nothing to do with it. White Vegeta asks, I did not catch the beginning. Did you mention 8CC788 stepping away? No, we hadn't discussed it much yet. I figured I'd save that for shout-outs. But we don't have anything to add to that. We're friends of Brian's. We support him, and if doing YouTube stuff is not conducive to his overall well-being, then it's time to walk away. And we support him in that. Hopefully he'll hang around enough and we can have him on the show once in a while afterwards, because it's always easier being on somebody else's show. That's for sure. That's what I whore myself out regularly just to try and get on somebody else's show and do this for fun and not have to hit buttons or keep Mark under control.
I love hitting the buttons.
We know you do.
I haven't had button access in a long time.
No.
And by the way, aside from missing the quality content HCC puts out, his departure means you can't get a hooded Cobra Commander anywhere now.
It's over.
There are none.
There's no more left.
Yeah, because even in the comic, he's wearing the ski mask.
Somebody said somewhere, I don't remember where, that looks like we're the main event now.
Ooh.
To which I say, we're always the main event. The main event goes on last.
That's the point.
We're here 2 hours every freaking week. We're the main event, damn it.
Ding, ding.
Rachel Salinas asks, Mike, your thoughts on Retro Beachhead, and have you already bought them all? No, I bought 2. Like I said, I would. I'm going to have one to be loose, and the other one I'm going to keep on its card. And be my only carded, classified, boxed classified at all. That's going to be the one. As far as Retro Beachhead goes, I like the figure just fine. I'm disappointed in the gear. I don't like that they managed to still not make that machine gun in the right color. Like the green machine gun just eludes me. I don't care so much about the crossbow. That's not such a big thing.
It's at least a better green.
Right. But if you're going to do a retro line and you're going to promise, as I've said with all of these figures, if you're going to promise, hey, this is just like it was back in the day, then anytime, if you're going to make differences to that, it's not going to work out right. You know, it's my problem with the eel. It's my problem with the snow serpent. They kind of shortcutted their way to these things. And so it's kind of annoying. I think out of this wave of 3 that we're getting, Beachhead did turn out the best. But you know, what makes if you're going to do a retro eel, then you need to do the backpack in retro style. If you're going to do a retro snow serpent, you at least need to make the loadout similar to what he came with in the retro figure. And again, remember, I don't care about that on the boxed ones. The main line, I want to see some differences there. I'm okay with those. But if you're going to promise me retro, it needs to actually be retro. And so Beachhead's green machine gun and Snake Eyes explosives pack, as opposed to gray machine gun and ammo pack, is kind of annoying. But you know what? We'll get through it.
I like that. I can only imagine the staff meeting. Check it out. We're making a green machine gun for Firefly. No,
not at all. Beachhead.
No, Beachhead. When you think green, you think Beachhead. Look at this guy.
Andrew Galgan asks, seeing how many G.I. Joe classified figures ended up discounted severely, I gotta wonder why that didn't happen to Falcon. I think a lot of the discounted ones, as we discussed at the beginning of the year when Hasbro was reporting their massive losses for last year, I think by that point they had stopped overproducing and stopped committing as much to storage. Which is why you didn't see that wave turn up. Look, there's always going to be clearances and closeouts. Not every figure is going to sell out completely and be a red hot hit. So that's not, it's not a danger sign for the line or anything. But were there fewer Falcons, and by that token, Cover Girls and Outbacks and the other characters in that, Marauders Barbecue. Are there fewer of them than there were, say, Snake Eyes movie figures? Yeah. That's
and it's possible that Night of the Living Dead Falcon figures just cannibalize each other, like literally ate each other.
I also he might have sold well anyway, just because the rest of the Green Beret body was probably used for customs and stuff like that. So
honestly, it's a great figure with the worst head.
Yeah, he's just not a pretty man.
He's just a little derpy looking.
Yeah, Don Johnson sued.
I mean, it's better than Smush Face from the 25th anniversary. But
Rachel Salinas asks, "Are y'all going over your options for the show's next opening act?" We are going to go to the Eric Bischoff book, and we've got luchadors. Luchadors will open for us going forward. It will be hard-hitting, fast as hell luchador action leading up to What's on Joe Mind every night at 7:05.
So join your hosts, Silver King and Super Crazy.
I was pushing for the Muppets.
Oh, but we can't get the big Muppets, right? So we're getting like the Lobster and the TNT guy. I love the TNT guy. I don't know his name though. What's his name?
Crazy Eddie.
Crazy Eddie.
No, Crazy Harry. Crazy Harry.
Crazy Harry.
Crazy Eddie was
insane.
Yeah, Crazy Eddie was the guy who had the commercial and the discount electronic stores in New York, and then got arrested for basically running a scam on them. And of course, his defense, insanity.
His defense, hey, it's New York. What are you gonna do? Who was the Muppet?
My prices are insane.
Who was the Muppet with the big collar who threw fish?
Lou Zealand.
I mean,
and his boomerang fish act.
He's the guy.
He's kind of B-list though. Like Lou Zealand keeps turning up in play, so I don't know if we could afford Lou Zealand.
Okay, fair enough.
We might be able to get Bobby Benson's baby band.
That's the hope. That's the hope. That's the hope.
Oh, cheapest big spender with the win. We're gonna have the Lucha intro. The chairman.
That's right. La Parka dancing with a chair, damn it. There we go.
I'm kind of doing a La Parka at night. I got a black and white photo. Somebody said, I got a text from my buddy Chris, a longtime wrestling fan, during the WrestleMania 40 main event, where they had to get 9 guys in it to make Cody Rhodes interesting. And he said, La Parka's coming down any minute. And I'm like, can you imagine how long it would take 65-year-old La Parka to do his strut down that 150-yard ramp?
In fairness, it would probably take.
Coming.
It would take about it.
Quicker. Yeah.
It would take about as long as 35-year-old La Parka.
Probably true.
But
he'd get there quicker than Roman Reigns.
I have to. Let's talk WrestleMania for just a second. First off, Mark, you need to turn off Jim Cornette for a month.
Come on.
And then figure out afterwards.
That's a weak bit. No.
Figure out afterwards how much you enjoy wrestling again later.
I found a 7-year-old post on Facebook before I ever listened to Cornette's podcast, where it asked you your opinion on a bunch of different wrestling things. And most overrated wrestler, I put Cody Rhodes 7 years ago. So let's not pretend this was parroted into my ear. Watch his matches and how sloppy his execution is. He's not a very good wrestler.
I think it just kind of comes and goes. I have seen him have excellent matches, and at the same time, I have seen matches that do cater to what you're saying. So I'm not calling him a favorite or anything, but I'm just saying that all things being equal, I'm not here to talk Cody good or Cody bad. But what the hell was the Undertaker doing there? What did he have to do with anything? Explain that to me.
Because they couldn't get Austin. I mean,
Austin would have been great, but I'm just saying that if there was one guy in that cluster F that needed to be throwing out a finishing move that didn't have a say in that, the one guy in that story that they did not do justice to in that final match there was Sami Zayn. Right? He was fresh as a daisy. He didn't wrestle. He didn't show up at all the second day. He was there in the building for the second day. He needed to be involved in that somehow at the end.
I think I agree with that. I think they should have got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 more guys involved in that main event to make it really memorable.
Look, it was pretty fun.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I just the best wrestling matches ever had 2 guys in.
I get you, but I think that particular storyline had just been too all-encompassing to limit it to that. So I especially if you're going to throw the bloodline rules stipulation in there, you know they're going to cheat, so you know there's going to be a bunch of good guys coming out of the back to help uncheat.
Yeah.
And,
I did like that none of the interference changed the outcome.
Right.
Match, right. So
right.
I'll give you that.
Right. Or at least if like whatever offense Solo got on Cody, Cena got on Roman, so it kind of balanced.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a guy just took too much of a beating for it to be believable in that. Believable.
I do like Cena's new move before the AA is to push the hair back.
Right.
And I feel you, John.
Right. He's got to get the front. He's got to get the front out of his eyes, and he's got to make sure that the back is covered as to not blind anyone.
This dude is bigger than McCracken.
So we needed to have a few minutes to talk about WrestleMania 40 there. I apologize to everybody who's not a wrestling fan, but it was a big part of the weekend.
We know you came here for Batman the Animated Series.
Right. We know you're here for the Polly Pocket podcast, but we can't do that.
Well, tonight's cartoon request is Flintstones Meet the Jetsons.
That is an affront. I will never. I will not even pretend. Why not put G.I. Joe and Transformers together? It doesn't work. Flintstones and Jetsons? Absolutely not. But
I'll never forget. I wasn't even a Jetsons fan, but somebody showed me a made-up video that was pretty funny years ago where George cheated on Jane with the robot maid, and they had an illegitimate son. And I just remembered in the tune of the theme song, they would go, "Bastard son, Bradford." That's what I think of whenever anybody says Jetsons. Bastard son, Bradford.
Oh. Viper Scout says that Orton and Dustin should have taken Cena and Undertaker spots. Disagree. Orton had just gotten his butt kicked, and Dustin works for another company. So that neither of those were going to happen. Orton would have been a better choice than The Undertaker, who... The Undertaker isn't even one of Rock's old rivals, right?
I mean, I really know.
No, I mean, if you're going to go back to the run there, the Rock's main Austin, who we've already discussed, was just not in attendance. Triple H, who couldn't get clearance to get in the ring, or Mick Foley, who shouldn't be getting into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love Mick Foley, but could you imagine how long it would have taken him to get down that aisle sideways?
Right. Right. I was reading on his Facebook. He was he was wanting to get himself into enough shape to have a farewell match at 60 years of age. And he has called off that pursuit because he's having regular dizzy spells. So that's not good. Yeah. So no, I just don't understand the Undertaker spot. I never will, but great. It's still nice ending to it all. Now we can finally move on to other things. And, 3 months from now, Mark can enjoy them taking the belt off of Cody and putting it on somebody else.
I mean, at least he finished the story.
Right.
I mean, I can only imagine the angst of them not putting the belt on their dad when he signed a one-match deal to be in the Garden and make a lot of money and then go back to Florida.
Mark.
And they let him beat the champ, by the way, while he was just not win the belt. They were so rough to that Rhodes family.
Mark, I mean, you might not like him, Mark, but the man's over, and you can't deny that.
He is crazy over.
He's crazy over.
He's crazy over. I do not get it, but he's crazy over.
Right. I have been that guy in the past, so I feel you. But
popularity took a little hit this weekend though when he brought out Brandy.
We got Senor Money in the Bank though. We got the
on the Yankee broadcast.
We got the heavyweight championship belt on a Yankee fan. So that right there.
I mean, we're all Yankee fans, right? It's unanimous on this show.
That's right.
One man gang.
Dave McDonald asked if was one man gang there, and maybe he just might have missed his spot. He might have missed his cue.
We were back in the days of the beautiful squashes of the late 80s. There was some match where the ref was hassling gang while he was just destroying some roofer. Clear as day. He gave the ref the finger and shook it like this and went, "Get out of my face, ref." And my brother and I were like, I don't know, 12 and 15. We were like, "Did you see what he just did? He just got the finger on television. Get out of my face, ref."
Oh God, one man gang. I mean, as he got booked to the moon in both NWA and WWE, and I don't think he had the belt in either one.
I don't think he ever had.
Like
I don't think the belt fit around him. Let's be honest.
Right. They shot him right up the ladder. He fought for both big belts, but I don't think he ever won the NWA one either.
His absolute career highlight is in the match where Hogan and Macho turn on each other afterwards. They're beating the hell out of Macho Man, and he and the Big Boss Man come off the ropes together to hit a double splash. But Boss Man hits it first and lifts. He's so heavy, he lifts the top rope a little bit. And when Akeem, the African Dream, hits it, he goes right through.
Right.
And it's center cam on the main ring, so you just see his feet for a second. And it's right by Hogan in Hogan's corner, and Hogan goes, "Damn." Looks down at his corpse on the floor. It's incredible. So good. Takes him a while to get back to the ring too, man. That was a bad hit.
It's probably time to wind this up, man.
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes past time to wind this up.
Let's get into what we got in. Rack Time Rob, start us off.
I have Cobra Geek Squad.
Oh, doubling up.
Couple of Techno Vipers. Mine, of course, have not shown up yet.
They look good.
They are good looking figs.
I wouldn't know. Mine aren't here. What else you got, Rob?
That's it.
All right. Mark Weber.
Now, I know, and I can say this, that I'm the redheaded stepchild of what we got in, because everybody knows the stuff ships to Rob first, and then Mike in a week, and then I get it like a month later. I can't even show it off because everybody has it. But as I said, I answer a lot of the fan mail at Valiverse, and we got a guy who wrote in a couple weeks ago now, and claimed to be, and this is all validated as we move along in this too long story, but he's from the Shawnee and Kituwa Native American nations that's in Tennessee. They're the Thunderbolt Warriors. This is all legit. I'm not making any gag here. And I want to make sure I say the name right. Tla Nua and Rain, he and his brother, are big fans of Action Force. And their suggestion was that there should be a Native American character in Action Force. And unfortunately, anytime we get a suggestion, we have to give the standard canned reply, right? Which is, we appreciate your support for Action Force. We don't take suggestions or concepts from outside the company, but we certainly appreciate being a fan of the brand and hope your Action Force collection continues to grow. But essentially, it's like, look, if I say, hey, that's a great idea, and then we make it, now there's a potentially actionable email out there down on print of that was my idea, right? So anyway. But the guy wrote back a lot, and he was a big fan, and he said we'd like to send Bobby a tomahawk because we make them, and we're full-blooded Native American. Should
we be sending that guy weapons?
I mean, right? So they sent a book, a published book chronicling the history of their area and their tribes, and they're in it. There's photos of them with their names. So I'm confident that this is legit. And so they said, Bobby, this cool as hell tomahawk. It's like a throwing one. It's a pine handle with a little head on it, and you can just see it going 50 yards and getting somebody, right? And
hopefully he's got better aim than Ed Ames.
Right. So I answer the emails. So I said, so if you want to send it to our PO box, I can get it to Bobby. And it showed up, and I brought this box in, and Bobby opened it up, and it's really cool. And so mission accomplished, except the guy said, hey, I appreciate your help. I really want to send you something. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but this is my job, man. I'm just doing my job, so no problem. He was like, no, watch that PO box. So when I got in, look at this thing.
Wow.
Holy smoke. Like,
you're going to go out and kill dinner.
It's so good. And here's a dirty little secret, and we'll see if Bobby's actually watching the podcast. Mine's so much better than his. This is not a throwing one, right? Holy
no.
So
there's a new sheriff in town for dad law.
Look, if there was a dude who could throw that accurately, you stay away from that guy. And Lord knows you have enough of a chance because you can see him coming from 3 blocks away.
Right. And no offense to anybody at all, right? But you could email any company and say, hey, I'm Irish, I'm full-blooded Italian, whatever you want. But with the book, the story absolutely checks out, and the guy's great. And he said, please make sure to credit my brother as well, because we make these together, and it's incredible. So what did I get in? As far as I can fact check, what seems to be a legitimate, authentic Native American handcrafted tomahawk. So for 1 week, I win what we got in.
I think so. Andrew Goggin with the thoughts of a nation there. Holy mother of pearl.
Yeah. Any argument, boys? I mean, come on.
Jeff Butler says you got the axe that should have come with Mad Marauder's barbecue.
That's exactly right. So what did you get in, Mike?
Nothing.
Figured.
That's right. We're up to 151.
Let's see.
There's a couple more of them came in. I think 149 we got last week, but then there's 150 who's he's okay. He's a little halfway between well played. I need the big window. I'm looking at Mark's. I'm looking at Mark's window, expecting the figure to show up there. That's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. But he's okay. Like his paint's a little worn in spots, and he's well played with, and we feel the love. And then there's 151, who is more of the pristine variety, and he's got his little ammo bag, and he's got all his stuff. But 151, we also bought as part of a group. He came with his pal Leatherneck, and he also came with the party boat. He came with the devilfish, nice. And I got the stuff. I got the stuff for the devilfish too. It's over in a bag somewhere, including the coffee stained blueprints. So good purchase there. All I'm the king of the dumpster divers too, man. Good price on it. Good price. So but yeah, we're up to 151. That's what we got in.
That's a good haul right there.
It's not bad. I was happy with that one. I was happy.
The devilfish, here's my reckless hot take. Devilfish, best small vehicle in G.I. Joe.
You can't just throw reckless hot take out there and not let me hit the button, Mark.
I don't know if I think everyone agrees with me, right?
It's up there. Like it's one of those. There's no no major outpouring of love for the devilfish, but you tell me somebody that didn't have a devilfish.
Or 3, right? It was one of the few that you could really troop build.
Right.
Because normally on the good guy side, if I had one, I'm good, right? But a couple of devilfish weren't bad, man.
Yeah, devilfish Skyhawk is one of those too from the vintage line. Like you could do a couple Skyhawks.
Skyhawk's not bad, but it was kind of rickety and a little bit fragile, a little bit.
Right.
But the devilfish, man, you could throw that against a wall. And all you gotta do is pick up the missiles and go back to work.
Right. Yeah. Make sure the cat doesn't eat the missiles, and you're good.
Phil Donnelly pooping all over my take here. Never had a devilfish.
Right, Viper Scout never had a devil. I mean, the good news is, according to Kirk Bazigian, probably the best-selling vehicle of all time in the vintage line. So there's lots of them out there.
That tells me that in their youth, Phil and Viper Scout never had a birthday party. It was like the de facto birthday party gift. There you go.
Phil never had a devilfish. Matt Rubin never had a devilfish. Come on, guys. Come on now. You gotta. There's no excuse to not have one now as adults.
Brian O here.
Brian O, he didn't have a devilfish. He got the Silver Mirage instead. Sorry.
It's like 2 vehicles in one.
Michael Gene Fleming. Some of us weren't born until after the devilfish were made. Again, no excuse. You have eBay and it's 2024. Saying that you're that young is like asking to be banned. That's all I'm saying.
As they say, I've never seen Star Wars.
You're not going to get banned, Michael G. Fleming.
Oh,
Phil Donnelly got the Hydro sled.
Oh, Phil.
Phil is lame.
I mean, that's worse than the Silver Mirage.
Dude, the only thing the Hydro sled was good for was for the devilfish to launch off of it, baby. Come on. Like Fonzie.
What we got in is brought to you by Bandcamp Podcast. I gotta get this. I gotta get Phil's sadness off the screen.
Hey, where'd I go?
You're in the bottom row tonight, Mark. You know what you did.
I think I know what I did.
We're excited to feature a really funny podcast for anyone who hates censorship, as we all should. It's called Bandcamp. The duo of Jennifer and Dan host it. Bandcamp is a comedy podcast where they read banned books and try to figure out why they were banned in the first place. This season, new season. So if you're waiting for them to start a new book, they are 4 chapters into A Wrinkle in Time, and they read that 1 chapter at a time out loud. So if you think banning books will lead to a not so great future, and it will, then Bandcamp is for you. Whether you're like Jennifer, curious to read the book for the first time, or like Dan, and a little too lazy to read it yourself, you like your reading with a lot less reading, Bandcamp is your podcast. You will love it. Remember, that is banned with 2 N's, and that is available wherever you get your podcasts. Bandcamp. Let's all get banned together. Let's do it yesterday. I can't find the button to get them off the screen now. I think they're just on the show now.
All right, there we go.
I think Dan and Jennifer and the band bot they're just in.
So I'm 5th billing?
Yeah. And you're
I could be like the Muppet voice from the operating room. Next time.
We continue our story.
Look, I realize I went a little too far with my Bandcamp background hijinks. But when you watch this back, you two jabronis look like bad Monty Python animation where the head opens on a hinge and something comes out.
That's fine.
So I'm okay
with that. I like the classics.
I'm just
Rachel Salinas wanted Rob to do the forehead bit. So I was a little disappointed there.
Play the Monty Python theme because it's a Sousa March.
I mean, Rob has hair, so it probably would have worked out better.
Oh, it's a low blow. I'm doing what I can with what I got left.
All right, we're gonna try and bring this in under 2 hours. So, Rob, why don't you give us some shout outs?
Shout out number 1 to the studio audience, and number 2 to our former lead-in, Hooded Cobra Commander 7888. We wish you well, sir.
I mean, we'll see him at Joe Fest, so it's not like he's dying or anything.
I know, yeah.
But Mark Weber.
Before I get my shout out in, Dustin Jeffrey has a very important point.
Do we have time for Dr. Saxo, the rock and roll cat? I don't know. Maybe. Go ahead, Mark.
Okay. Look, I'm just going to reiterate.
Meow. 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 Meow.
He spent the rest of Thanksgiving just waiting for an opportunity to sit on Mike's turkey.
Cut me off, I'll cut you off.
That's true.
So, as I said earlier, I didn't even get to the best part of this because I was so excited about my new weapon. There's no other way to describe it. I want to make sure I say it right. Planua and Rain, legit last name Iron Knife, from the Shawnee and Katua nations for this fantastic, legit tomahawk. It's the best thing I've gotten in years. It's that awesome. So to you two guys, love it. Thank you so much.
Can tell that that from here we can tell it's that awesome.
Come on, who are you talking about?
But I will reiterate Rob's shout outs to our audience. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you're catching us on replay, thank you. You count just as much. We do appreciate you too. And of course, our audio listeners, we like you as well. If you're here from Facebook, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. Just give us some kind of reaction because that's what makes the engine go over there. If you're here on the YouTubes, be sure to like in that corner and subscribe in that corner. I'm getting better at that.
Mm-hmm. You're amphibious.
And of course, leave us a big boy comment down below, not just a live chat comment. Leave us a big boy comment down below and share us in all your various public media, social media circles. Give a shout out to our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Real quick, we'll sing the theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys. I'm late.
That's all right. It's fine. You're a little flat too, so we need to.
Yeah, we're not the Beastie Boys.
Right. All those doots kind of wore out your voice, I think.
I'm dooted out. I'm doot perfect.
Right. Well, you were anyway. I don't know about anymore. But
doot wipes.
Give a shout out to our friend in the live chat tonight, Diana Davis, for her contributions to the upcoming what's that called? Compendium, the 1 to 50 from Skybound. Thank you so much for your work there, Diana. We appreciate you as always.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. That's what we got tonight. Of course, I'll wind up. We wore Brian's T-shirt tonight. Remember, folks, it's kind of a bummer, but the YouTube fame is not worth your well-being, right? It's if you're worn out and burnt out, it's time to go. There's going to be a day someday when we're not here doing this anymore. Well, I mean,
yeah, next Tuesday,
right? You anyway. So, don't worry about it too much. Just continue to find places to get your non-negative and positive and fair-minded content. It's getting really tough to do that, and so that's really the worst part of Brian stepping away is that we know somebody who was eminently kind and fair and well-spoken about it, and with a genuine passion for what he was doing, not with a genuine passion for trying to put himself over or be a big video star on an app on people's phones. Like that's what we're missing there is just the genuineness of Brian Lower, good guy, more so than Hooded Cobra Commander G.I. Joe reviewer. We're all a little bit worse off because we don't have Brian Lower, good guy, producing for us anymore. But again, it's not like he's dying or anything. He's riding off into the sunset and we'll all see him at Joe Fest. We'll certainly first round will be on What's on Joe Mind. But that's all we got for tonight. Be sure to join us next week. I am working on getting a guest host in to sub for the Honcho. The Honcho will be on another vacation. God knows how that works. How many days? How many days Vala giving you over there? Maybe I should go, Bobby.
Part-time, but full-time salary, baby. Ooh. Look, if you consider all the crap jobs I've had over the last 6 years, it's about time I had a good one. I did my time. I did my time.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just jealous.
That's it. Well, if you want to come help me fill a couple thousand orders tomorrow, come on down.
I'll be busy with my crappy job, Mark.
Yeah, fair enough.
At 3 a.m.
I've been there.
What's he paying?
Right?
Right. We might be there sooner than you think.
Right? Any backup.
But that's all we got. Be sure to join us next Tuesday at 9:05 for another episode of What's on Joe Mind here on the Superstation. We return you now to your your weekly viewing of Krull, starting next on TBS. But until then, as our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. We'll be back next week for another episode of What's on Joe Mind. Have a great rest of the week. Yo, Joe.
Beer.
Jinkies.